Hello artists, I hope you're ready to make some art because today we're going to do a special kind of print that is called a collagraph. Now the word collagraph comes from two Greek words, kalla, which means glue, and graph, which means to draw. A collagraph is a collage of materials of different textures, and you glue them all down on your printing plate, load them up with some ink, and make a print from them. And that is what we are going to do. I hope you're ready. Here's some of the things that we're going to need. We're going to need some cardboard as a printing plate, some textures of different papers and cardboard, so maybe some buttons, some scissors, some glue, and we're going to use the printing plate from your last project. Okay, so I started off by drawing a bunny. Originally I drew it on paper and then I just copied it onto my printing plate, which is going to be this piece of cardboard. I'm just outlining here in marker so that you can see my original drawing. Alright, so I've got a piece of cardboard. I'm going to cut it sort of roughly the shape of the bunny's head. It might take a few tries to get it right, and it doesn't have to be exact, but that's pretty close, so I'm going to go with that. Now I'm going to use the printing plate from our last project, and I'm going to cut that into the shapes for my ears. Alright, they don't have to be the same texture. This is why I wanted you to have all these different textures, because I knew we were going to use them again. Alright, so there's my bunny ears. Here on the left you can see my original drawing. I'm going to use that in a second too. Alright, so I'm going to glue my bunny head and my bunny ears on. Now you guys are going to make any animal you want for your project. So I hope you are thinking about that right now, because you're going to start with the drawing first. Alright, now I'm going to take my drawing and I'm going to actually cut it out and use it as a pattern to cut out my next piece for my collagraph. I'm going to use a piece of crumply construction paper that I've crumpled up and then flattened out, and I'm just going to trace that, and I'm then going to cut it out and I can glue it onto my printing plate. Alright, so cut that out. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it should be pretty close. Alright, crumple it again just to give it a little more texture. Add some glue. It's important that you put enough glue on that everything really stays glued down well. So now I'm going to make some bunny feet out of these pieces of cardboard. I'm going to trace the first one so I can make the second one the same size. And I will glue those down as well. Alright, again, make sure you've got enough glue on there. Oh, forgot his belly. So I'm going to use this corrugated paper just to have a different texture for my bunny's belly. Alright, going to glue that down, and I'm going to put my bunny feet on where they belong. And then I'm going to cut up some different cardboard, and I'm going to use that as his little front paws. And I'm going to glue that one on there. I'm going to use my texture plate that I used for my last project as my carrot. So I cut that into a carrot shape and glue that down. And then of course we need one more bunny paw, so I'm going to add that. Now, you can kind of see it's a bunny now, but he doesn't really have any details like, eyes or nose or the little paw prints. So I'm going to use the buttons as his little toe prints and put those on there. And it's really important after we glue all these down that we let them really make sure they're dry before we make a print from them. Alright, so then I have these, let's make one more little thing, his eyes. So I'm going to cut out some big round eyes out of the printing plate we've used already and glue those down. Now I have this bucket of little styrofoam bugs. I'm going to use the ladybug as his nose. Works pretty well, I think. I'm going to take these ladybugs and, trim off their little heads and put them in as their eyeballs. Now this looks cool, but remember, this isn't your work of art. We're just making the printing plate right now. So I'm going to add a couple of little lines for his little toes and his one paw. I'm actually just going to draw with some glue to make his other paw. He's waving at us, and I'm going to curl up this piece of yarn and use it as his little paw pad. And I'm going to use the same yarn for the bottom of his bottom feet. Don't know which they are, but it'll work. And then once I've done that, I need to still give him a little face. And so, and the top of the carrot, I'm just going to use the yarn for that too, and place that down there. And I'm going to add some of these little styrofoam butterflies. Might as well put them in our background. That'll be kind of fun. And I'm going to draw his mouth on with the glue. have to be careful it doesn't come out too fast. Okay, now I want to add some more texture to our board, so I'm going to make him sitting on a little checkered floor, and I'm just going to use masking tape and kind of make a checkerboard pattern. This will probably be pretty subtle in our print, but I'm going to do it anyway. So now our bunny is going to be sitting on some tiled floor. I think that's what it's going to look like. And one more thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a pencil and I'm going to draw into those styrofoam or those fun foam shapes that I added, the bugs, and I can add some details onto that. Whoops, I smudged his little face, have to fix that. All right, this is to be continued, but let's get started. Go forth and be brilliant.